I've a confession to make, bro.
Yeah, what's up?
I have a confession to make. I have been having thoughts recently, and I never ever thought I'd ever have such thoughts in my life. But I guess as I've been growing up, and experiencing different things and different feelings, I have developed certain, thoughts recently, and I wanna confess these to you as my homie.
Where are you going with this?
And like, look, man, if you're gonna judge me, you're gonna judge me. I don't care. Okay,
I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge. Just carry on, man. Just say what you gotta say.
I've been thinking about Apple, bro. And not just like Apple from a point. Not like Apple. Like I've been like thinking about having an iPhone won't be a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I never ever thought I'd ever be in such a position. I never ever thought I'd be in such a position, bro.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm in the exact same position as you, dude. I really desperately need an iPhone in my life. I'm tired of this, man. See this? I can just throw it away, but I can't because I need it. But yeah. I'm desperate for an iPhone, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, so what are your reasons of wanting an iPhone? Like, why do you want to switch to iPhone?
Man, I'm just trying to join that ecosystem. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Remember in the last episode, I talked about how I was walking, yeah, and I saw this person's phone. I literally saw her hold it like this, bro. Like, yeah, look at my phone. I saw those 3 bumps. I said, wow, let me put my phone away. I put it in my pocket fast, dog. I'm trying to get people to do that, dude. I'm trying to get people to do that. You know what I'm saying?
So
when I walk around, not only for the flex, dude. Like performance is also pretty decent. It's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Performance on an iPhone is pretty good. I mean, it's not 12 gigs of RAM or 512 gigs of space, but you can just buy space.
You can buy more RAM if you want to. Just go download more RAM. Just go to Google, download more RAM.
By the way, you can actually do that. Yeah, you can actually. I mean, hold up. There is some caveats, of course, but like Linus made a video on that, and if you guys want to check it out, you can just go on LTT or something. But yeah, I'm trying to get that iPhone, man. Also for the camera. I'm not. I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's the camera as well. Pretty obvious. What about yourself, Perfect? What you looking for in an iPhone, man?
No. Okay, so for me, it's convenience, right? I'm not really thinking about getting. Look. There's someone in the background here who we have, and he's just going like, no. And you see, so that's what I'm saying. Don't judge me, but right? Okay, look. The reason why, I've been thinking about iPhone. I'm not saying I'm gonna get an iPhone. I'm not there yet. I'm not thinking of getting an iPhone because I don't have the dinero, right? And the thing is, the reason why I've been thinking about Apple. The reason why I say I've been thinking about Apple, not just iPhones, because when I look at Apple, right, I don't think about the devices because they're not really solitary devices. I don't see myself just buying an iPhone. If I had to buy an iPhone, I'd also want to get probably the MacBook, or an iMac. If the money's good, if my money's good at whatever time in my life. But I feel like the biggest selling point for Apple is its ecosystem, the Apple ecosystem, because that's the biggest product they've built thus far, right? They have integrated every device within its ecosystem so that everything just seamlessly works together. The other day, I was on my phone and I was browsing something and I wanted to view a certain web page on my PC. But I was like, how will I do this the quickest and laziest way? I'm a lazy person. I don't like having to do a lot of work to just for a simple thing opening a web page on my PC. And I'm like, so in the Apple ecosystem, you have this thing, the universal clipboard, where you can copy something on your mobile phone, like text or a link or whatever, and you can paste that link or open that link on your other device, like a MacBook or your iMac. And I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get on that, but there's also a whole bunch of other conveniences that I see in the Apple ecosystem that I'd like to plug into. For me, it's just convenience. Yeah, there's things like, it's not as customizable. Cool. you're restricted a lot in the Apple ecosystem. I get that, right? But I feel like the day I get myself those Apple devices, right, it was obviously the day that I'm rich, and is the day where, yeah, I've just, like, forget about everything. I've just gone fully. I've gone rogue. Basically, right? But like, I'm not at that
Oh,
point in my
sorry, man.
life right now.
Sorry about that.
No problem. But I'm not that point. I'm not at that point in my life right, yet. But But what I'm just saying is those thoughts have been creeping in. I'm still Android. I'm still Okay. Windows is like, I like Windows because of work, right? But I'm not.
Yeah,
It's not like I love Windows, right? I still use it, and it's my preferred OS, right? Because of,
yeah.
like, a whole bunch of reasons. But I have been thinking about it, which is something I never do. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I went rogue and I'm now an Apple fan. No, 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 no. I'm just saying I've been having thoughts about it. Just like looking at it different, like, you know what I'm saying?
That notch looking a bit smaller. You know what I'm saying?
It looks kind of good, the camera bumps, the cameras, like you speak about the camera bumps at the back, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, dog. But anyways, let's jump into today's episode. Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Ekasi Esports Podcast. I am your host, Perfect. And as usual, I am not alone. I'm with my main man, Mr. Judo. What's up, Judo?
I'm all thanks, man. How you doing?
I'm Gucci, man. I'm Gucci. Today we have a special episode, man. We have a special episode. Like, when we started this podcast, right? I wanted this, we wanted this, right? We wanted this to become a platform of knowledge where people get to learn more about tech, esports, and gaming. We wanted this to become like everyone's weekly update, on tech, esports, and gaming topics and all that. And also to learn more about all these worlds, and also to get to know some of the big role players, in the scene. Right, especially in the local scene, because the local scene doesn't get much coverage. We most of the time we hear about the Western gaming scene, but this time we want to hear stories from the local scene, told by the people themselves, right? And part of that is obviously having these people come onto the podcast and let them tell their stories. And in today's episode, we have a person, we have a man, right, who has shown that even though you're from Africa, because Africa gets ignored in the gaming scene, in the esports scene, Africa gets ignored. Like, I remember I saw one year I saw the Overwatch World Tour, right, and they showed only the European country, like the Europe and the Asias and the Americas, but Africa, there's nothing. And Africa is big, but there's nothing there, no presence at all. And I'm like, this is unfair, right? But even though with all that, this man has stood out and has put himself in a position where he has been recognized internationally, and like, as we speak, he's involved in some of the big world-class tournaments, in the world championships, right? And he like, I can't put this man in a box because he's just so talented, and he's a great person, he's a great friend, he's a very talkative person. Hence why he makes a great first guest for the podcast, because you can you just say hi to him. Next thing you're speaking about cosmology or science or he goes wild, he goes haywire. But anyways, this man has shown that you as an African gamer can swim with the big boys. You can swim with the big sharks. You can run with the lions. And he's a lion. He's a shark. And the person I'm talking about, without further ado, is Mr. Snare Grodamus. Welcome, Mr. Snare Grodamus.
What's up? After that much gas, I'm not sure there's anything I could say that could actually live up to this billing right now, Unfortunately, though, I have to let everyone down. I have to let your audience down and your guests down, right? After all this hype, it's going to be the shortest episode ever, because after all that Apple gas, I'm out. Bye, guys.
Look at this dude.
Man. You see, that was judging me, dog. It's a safe. I thought this was a safe space, but hey, it's fine. We move. But how you doing, Mr. Snare? How you doing? We've been trying to get you on this for the longest, and
people don't know, like, in the background, people, like, this is. The world itself has been trying to prevent this conversation, right? Everything that could possibly go wrong has gone wrong. But we're here, we're doing this, we're out here, and I'm doing good. I am a bit sad, though, if I'm honest, because I was about to head to the liquor store, and then it started raining, and I don't have a car. So it's like, well, I guess I'm not going to the liquor store. So best part, you even get me bone sober today. It's all good, man.
Oh man, I wouldn't mind even if I got the drunk, the drunk master snare, because like I've worked with you, right? And one thing about you, right, your professionalism, right, is like up there, and I feel like and that's why you are where you are today, because of like how professional you are, how and also how skilled you are at what you do. I wouldn't say talent is now, Mara. Skill is even way better, and you're one of the most skilled individuals. Like, I mean, you were schooling me before the episode. You're telling me that, yo, bruh, get on this program, use the software for better quality. So if you guys see better better quality episodes going in the future, just know that this man right here is the reason why we got better quality.
Skill is like half of, in my opinion, right? Skill is 90% luck and like 10% somebody else told you, hey, do this thing. It'll probably be a good idea, So I've gotten really lucky, but I've also just taken really good advice with like, you hear people saying to you like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, oh. Say it again, by the way. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take that down, yeah.
And that's the crazy thing, because I was thinking about the exact same thing the other time, like, what if I didn't see that YouTube video that one time, which made me interested in a certain subject or a certain topic, which made me discover a certain program or software, which got me hooked. And then I started looking at tutorials, started doing research on it, and, just working on that skill, and eventually got to a point where I'm at today. Where will I be today? So yeah, definitely luck is also a big, played a big part, in getting us to where we are. And actually,
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, because you just recently met Judo, right? And Judo might not know, he heard that whole intro. He heard and the people also at home, right? They heard that whole intro, and they might not know who Mr. Snare Grodamus is. So who is Mr. Snare?
Oof.
AKA Mr. Snare Grodamus.
This is a complicated question because I've actually that particular name for Snare Grodamus, right? It came from my Twitter account, and I've had to rebrand that Twitter account like several times throughout the years. It used to be Negrodamus back in the day, but unfortunately, right, I found that for some reason several organizations were uncomfortable tweeting about, hey, here's Negrodamus putting us on or involved in this thing.
For some reason?
I don't understand. I don't get it. But yeah, I'm Snare. I'm out here. I've been casting now. Next year will be, no, not next year, but like the year after next will be practically 10 years, actually. Damn, I feel old right now. That I've been out here. I started, actually, let me give you all the actual origin story, right, of how Snare started as a thing. Okay. Because initially how I came about a Snare, right? I used to be a player back in the day, right, before I actually grabbed the mic. Not a very good one, of course. That's why I'm known for casting, not for playing. But I was in this team. We were doing okay, right? I was in a Dota team for a while. But then I started like playing other games with my friends all the time, right? I played a lot of FIFA, a lot of Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, whatever. And I remember, forget the year that it was, but there was a bar that opened up here nearby where I live. And there's a guy who works for MSI now, man by the name of Byron Trent. He's still a relevant person in the scene. Definitely go check him out. But he decided, you know what, we're going to actually host like a fighting game tournament here in Centurion, here in Pretoria, whatever. At the time, they were very, very rare. The only fighting game tournaments were you go to somebody's house, people put money on the table. That's the tournament, and then you make a situation from there.
The OG way.
But we're hanging out, we're at this bar, and he's like, yo, we're just going to host a tournament. Now, at the time, I tried to join the tournament, but I got knocked in the qualifiers. Oh, it wasn't funny. It was bad, boys. It wasn't great, right? So I got knocked in the qualifiers, but cool. I'm still going to go see what's up, right? Because there's some people that I know who are going to be there. We get at the venue, and I went with two of my homies, right? And my two homies that I went with weren't really esports people, or rather they knew Dota, but they didn't really know Mortal Kombat, which was the game that we were playing on the day. So I spent some time just trying to explain to these guys, yo, what's happening while what we're seeing on the screen, right? But obviously, when you're seeing hype, you can't help but get hype, right? So I'm like, oh shit, this person's doing this. Oh my God, this person's doing this. And I kept doing this, but I'm just doing this organically because I'm excited by what I'm seeing. Yeah. And at like halfway through the tournament, this Byron guy shows up out of nowhere. I've never met him in my life, right? This is the first time I've ever heard of him, met him or anything. He comes there and he just has a mic in his hand. And he's like, yo, bro, just here you go. There's the stage there. Just Just go, bro. And I'm like, wait, what are you talking about? And he's like, yo, I'm hearing you. Just add entertainment, fam. And I was like, I don't know what to do. And then he sweetened the deal by being like, you know what, bro, do this. Drinks on me. I couldn't get on the stage fast enough.
No more convincing.
Yes.
You're sold. You're sold.
Nah, I'm sold, right? There's even a picture of me on Facebook somewhere with like when I still had very short hair. It's there, me being like, hey guys, I'm about to get on the mic for the first time. This is kind of cool. And honestly, I caught the bug. It was actually really cool being like, wait a second, I can be in this situation, right? Where the game is already hype enough as it is. As it is, I don't need to add more, but just simply me adding more makes it even more hype. Like that 5, 10, 20% even changes everything and it makes it more memorable for everyone involved. And I was like, how can I do more of this? So then, yeah, just over the years, I just found myself in random pockets. We started with Dota, me and a friend of mine from back in the day. We started casting. The team we were in had like multiple smaller squads, like the sister/junior squads. So we were like, YOLO, let's cast some of their games, see how it goes. And we're like, this is fun. But obviously we were really bad. My God, I'm so glad that Twitch VODs don't go that far in the past because, it was really terrible. But,
oh man, I was gonna like look for them and just like put them
please
here.
don't. Please don't. It was so bad. But it did allow us to cut our teeth somewhat. And yeah, the bug just never went away. And I just, as much as I had to live life, still do things, still have to go to school, eventually get a real job or whatever. The bug never went away. And over time, like last year, there was a job I got fired from, which is a terrible, long story for another day. But it was also the best thing that could possibly have happened to me. It was, at the time, the worst thing that ever happened to me. But in retrospect, it's like, yeah, getting as much as I had the esports, gaming, entertaining bug, the situation that happened at my last job also gave me the anti-corporate bug in the biggest way possible. Then I was like, yeah, YOLO, let's try and make this work. And surprising to everybody, or rather, I'm the person that seems to be most surprised. Everybody else doesn't seem surprised, but somehow it's working out and we're out here and we're still doing the thing.
So you're saying that you are living off of esports right now? Like
Yes, as of today, actually. Oh shit, it's actually today. Oh my God. As of today, it's been a full year, like a full calendar year where there's been no corporate income and it's just been esports, gaming, streaming, and yeah, still somehow living. Yeah, we're out here.
I guess that's why the Universal was trying to move the episode, to just have everything aligned. To be like, yeah, on Snare's anti-corporate anniversary, we have him speak about it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's actually one of the reasons why I brought you on board, because like, as a guest here, because like I said, you have done some fantastic things. Because I remember when we entered the esports scene here in South Africa, we were like, like honestly, like to be honest, like there was not a lot of people of color or black people, right, in the scene.
Nope.
There's not many, and you were one of the few. Lights was one because he has been involved in the CS scene since, I don't know, he's a fossil. And he's definitely also one of the people I'd love to bring as well as a guest on the show. But yeah, and then there was you, and you were there. I remember the first time I saw you cast, I was like, man, this guy is killing it. And I'm pretty sure at that time you had been casting for a minute, so because you could hear that, yeah, you were comfortable in the mic, and also your knowledge on the casting was like crazy though. Was like, yeah. And that's why I've admired your work, and we even brought you on board for one of the tournaments that we hosted last year, the chess series, and it was
so much fun.
It was a fantastic run. I remember we were sitting there for hours, for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
I mean that's a long time for me, but for you were like, dog, 4 hours.
4 hours, not even average times. A short day. We did this quickly at the office. There's actually a funny story about the chess tournament that we did, right?
Okay.
So last year, December, November, I think it was November, definitely November, because I hadn't moved into my new place yet. So November, October, somewhere around there. Bravado, right, in conjunction with the #TestVogue, right? So they had a tournament, right, a chess tournament for like a streamer invitational. And I got involved, I joined and shit. But I was really worried about it, right? Because you remember the conversation we'd have off air during that chess tournament, right? And I keep telling you how washed I was. I was like, yo, this game is so different when you're watching and commentating it than when you're playing it. And this is why I prefer commentary, right? Same reason I don't play high-level Dota, because I'm washed, It's easier being on this side of the mic. So then I'm like, we were talking about the tournament, and I was talking to Bekra about this, right? Bekra Joy. And she was like, no, And I was telling her, yo, I'm really stressed about the tournament. I'm not sure I'm going to do well. And then she's like, I don't see what the issue is, because when I was watching your guys' broadcast about the tournament that she was participating in, right, she didn't hear anything that made her think I'd be terrible at playing chess, right? She heard things that made me think I'd be very good at it. So what's the problem, right? And I was like, yo, and then, trying to explain the difference between being very great when you have this bird's eye, macroscopic, no pressure view. You're just here to call balls and strikes versus you're in it, and not just in it, but you care about the victory. Because let's be honest, when you don't care about the win, you're like, whatever. You can see things a lot more clearly, right? But the biggest mistakes come in when you really care about getting that dub. Nah? And what's really funny, perfect, nah, is one of the first people I lost to was somebody who was in our chat, nah, on like day one of the chess stream. And they were like, oh yeah, actually, I heard what you think like, yes. So this is us. I was prepared. And I was like, damn it. The mic got up ahead of me.
So that they now took they used your own skill against you. They took your own casting skill and used it against you, because like, oh, okay, I hear what he's saying. I see his thought process. Kaboom.
That's exactly what happened. And I got bodied. It was awful. I hated life. It was terrible.
Hectic. Like, hey, Jude, like, I don't know if you know this man casts everything, as y'all have heard. This man casts everything. I won't be surprised if I go up to YouTube right now and I search up paint drying and I find Snare casting paint drying or something. Because this man casts everything. I remember when I was stalking him on the socials, right? Because I was preparing for this interview. So I went back to his Twitter, to find out when did he start? Because I found some stuff even. But when because like I said, when we entered the scene, this man had already been like doing it. He was already like a vet, at casting. So I couldn't like even pinpoint the time. I think the earliest date I found was I think it was a Dota tournament. I think WRG was playing. It was in 2015. In 2015. Do you remember that moment? Does that moment ring any bells? It was let me see if I have it here. So it was casting JDL Europe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
WG against Isuba. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
It is Isuba. What's actually funny about those JDL casts, right? There's actually a bit of salt around the situation, because when I started doing the JDL casts, initially they had like a producer, you could come in, whatever, but then the producer left or something. I forget what the situation was. So in order to keep doing JDL, they required you to be able to stream yourself, right? And the thing was, at the time where I lived, there was no fiber, there was no uncapped internet. All there was LTE, right? So how I was streaming at the time, y'all, nah, is if I cared enough about the game, and that game in particular, the WRG Isuba game, right? One of the games I cared enough about, because the South African boys involved in the European tournament, I have to be involved. I had to buy data. Right?
At that time, data was costly. It
was maybe not the soundest financial decisions I was making at the time in my life, but I had to do it, bought the data, had to be like, yo guys, we're going to be out here. So, those costs between like 2015, 2018, every one of them, not just a labor of love, but a labor of money as well. That shit was not cheap to put on.
But I guess it got you here now. It got you here now, because one highlight I guess we can highlight from your career is recently you were casting the pro circuits, the Dota pro circuits, right? Which is like globally recognized Dota tournament, right?
Yeah,
so, how did you get there? Actually, let's do this. Take us through your background. Like, I want to know where did Snare come from? Where did you grow up? We want to know that, right? Like, where did you grow up? Where did you go to school? Like, cause right, yeah, we know that you're like a world-class caster right now, right? And you can cast like anything. But like we want to know like your journey and your story. How did you get here?
So let's see. I was born in, where was I? I was born in Pretoria, but then we spent the first, I think, until I turned 5. Yeah, until I turned 5, we lived in Mafikeng, right? So we were that side for a while. Life was great, everything was cool. Moved to Pretoria. I stayed in a place called Kruger Park, which was terrible. It's one of these I think, if I remember correctly, the building got condemned as well alongside Schubert Park. But it's one of these buildings where the elevator would break every single day while you're in it. We stayed on the 12th floor, and I was a tiny kid, so there's no point taking the stairs. The one time I did try to take the stairs, I got chased by a dog from like the 9th floor down, and I was like, never again. I'm gonna rather stay upstairs. It's fine. I'll rather be stuck in the lift than get bitten on the heels. The place had, when I say they had cockroaches, right? It's not just, there were roaches around. I mean that when you woke up in the morning and you went to get dressed, your daily spot check would be, do this with your clothes.
Sheesh.
Just check to see what's going to happen there, which roaches are coming out. You're like, we're cool. But we lived there for a few years, and then we moved to Centurion. I think I was in grade 4. How old was I? I was 9. Yeah, so I was in grade 4. No, grade 5, sorry. Moved this side. Lived here for a while. Things were cool. And then the school I went to that time was Littleton Primary. And then I went to Littleton Manor. After Littleton Manor was character building. Right. Interestingly enough about that school, though it was known as like one of the more ghetto / not gangster, but like a lot of these screw ups in the community somehow all congregated at Littleton Manor, right? But somehow and surprisingly, also some of the legitimately most brilliant people I've ever met in my entire life, right? I met in the school, not just in the school, but my particular class, right, has legitimate special people. So, for example, if you go on Twitter right now, or not Twitter, on Instagram, and you search for, I keep forgetting a name, something in Keys. I keep forgetting a Twitter name. Balim Keys or something. I forget what Twitter name is. She's got like 100, almost 200K followers there, 200K followers on her YouTube. There's a guy called Banks, the DJ. Homeboy's like out here, always on Smirnoff and whatever. He hosts that, he has a podcast on UIFM with Venom. There is one of my other homies who works at the Constitutional Court, who I also met there. And it's just like, genuine luminaries, right? So I did gain a lot of inspiration. Thankfully, the shit school actually made me a better person. Afterwards, I went to UP, did my engineering degree, hated life as an engineer. It wasn't for me. I thought it was because I was like, you like math? Okay. Mm-hmm. You like physics? Okay. You like applied sciences? Okay. Clearly, this means you should be an engineer. Cool. Go do that. Young people make mistakes. Let's just put it that way.
Hey man, I mean, I'm also one former engineering student. I didn't complete mine, so I can relate. I was just like you. I was like, I'm good at math. I'm good at this. I like this. I like it. Then we do engineering. Then I do it, and then I'm like,
flop. Yeah, flop. I did it. Came out. Didn't really like life, and then now I can still hear you.
I'm saying, Jude, I think you mute it.
All of us made some bad life choices because in high school, someone told me that physics will be one of the easiest modules that you take. That person lied to me so hard, man.
No, that person did not lie to you, right? Real talk, right? Real talk. Physics and math is actually easy. It's not easy, quote unquote, right? But the difficult part is just learning the rules, honestly, right? The other shit is really easy. Like it's actually not that difficult. Like once, especially in high school, right? Because normally they give you like problem sets, right? And they're like, this is the problem. Calculate some parameter in the problem, or calculate the variable that would allow you to solve the problem. And it's just rules. Once you get past the rules, whatever. Like much harder, right? Honestly, not much more difficult. Is shit like, because I made the foolish decision, right? Speaking of like bad decisions that I made as a youth, when I was in high school, I did EGD, what do you call technical drawing?
Yeah, technical drawing. Mm-hmm.
Engineering, graphics, and design, right? And then I dropped this shit in grade 11 because our teacher went missing. And when I say went missing, I mean the dude left and there was no replacement for him. And we were literally in class for months doing nothing. And I was like, well, this feels like a waste of time. So I'm going to do something else. So in like the second semester, third term, I changed to business. Nah? What an awful decision. Yeah, what an awful decision. And the reason it was such an awful decision is like, it's one thing if it's like, there's an objective right or wrong answer here, right? You don't understand the rules enough to be able to deliver that objective answer, but an objective answer does actually exist in principle, right? You just need to be able to find it. Versus where no matter how good your rationale is, someone could just be like, I don't agree, so fuck you. And you're like, what? What? This is possible? Yeah? No? Uh-uh. Because the other subjects I was doing physics, IT, and then this shit. And it's like, wait, in physics, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'm going to tank that I was wrong because someone's going to explain to me, yo, here's where you went wrong, and here's why you should have said something different. Then I'll be like, cool, thank you, bye-bye, right? Same thing in IT. If I'm writing code and the code is just not compiling, I know why it's not. Well, I might not know why it's not compiling, but somebody else knows in principle, right?
There is
the
a solution.
Is available. Yeah, that answer is available. But honestly, for me, the fuzzy subjects, history, business, art, drama, the subjects where there's no actual certainty available is much more difficult than shit that, in principle, I could actually find the 100% out of 100 times correct answer. That was just on me not being able to find that answer. But if I knew if I know the correct answer, then I can regurgitate it 100 times out of 100. But if there's a fuzzy answer that I can never be certain, if it basically depends on the day, nah, that's way harder. I'm sorry. Like, we have to disagree here, Jude. I understand. I get it. But yo, fuzzy things are difficult, man.
Yeah, true.
No,
Like, same thing in high school. Like, I only paid attention in physics and math class. Other classes, I was like sleeping most of the time.
He's not joking. He's not joking. In English, this man would fall asleep. He would legit fall asleep in English. It wasn't even.
I think it was a disease. Honestly, like even sometimes I'm like, today I'm not sleeping because I always used to get in trouble for it too. I'd get punished, and then I'll just find myself passing out. And things, it was that thing of, my answer could be wrong or could be correct, but in math, I just need to know the rules, and I know, okay, cool, this is how you tackle this problem, this is how you approach this problem, and this is how you can get a solution. If I get this answer wrong, then I was just a papega, and I'm miscalculated or missed a step or something, But in these other ones, I have to think, and like, does it sound right? Does it sound correct? It might be wrong, and it also depends on who's marking. It's just too open, it's too ambiguous, and I'm like, that's why I never enjoyed them, and that's why math and physics was just like, okay, cool, because there's like wrong or right. Simple.
Real talk, I got a lot of extra marks by going to negotiate after the fact. You can't do that in like a math thing, but in English you're like, no, comrade, no.
You can protest. No. But we were back at school. So you said at that school, that's where you met like a lot of the smart people. So did you like go through high school there as well and complete high school, or did you?
Yeah. I finished high school there at Lawton Manor. Great class, graduated with a bunch of people. Actually, even one of the people that I graduated with, one thing that sucks about actually my high school class is that, I'll explain now. So let's just go on with the history. Leave high school, did my engineering degree, hated life as an engineer. Went back to school, started studying astronomy and astrophysics, and I was like, this actually this feels a bit more right. This feels like it's actually more aligning with the wheelhouse. Everything was great, I was like, when you have this plan in mind, right? You're building the vision, and you're like, bet I'm back at school. I already have some of this engineering experience, so when I go work in this field, it's not like I'm going to be consigned simply to theoretical work, right? I can also have practical applications. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Then COVID hits, right? And it's like, shit, okay. At the time, I was paying for the thing. I went to work for a retail place. I was working at the Exclusive Books, this bookstore. And that's how I was paying for the studies. But COVID hits, it's like, snap, everything's closed, right? And they closed the store for a while. And it's like, crap, this is going to be really interesting for how am I going to, survive without all of this money. Let's see what happens. And then, in the same vein I was talking about with skill, luck also happens in real life. And I got really lucky. One of the actual real OGs in the scene as well, a man by the name of Halberd, hollered at me. There's a company I was working at. He's like, hey man, listen, there's some project we're working on right now. We need some hands. This COVID situation has created like a sort of emergency scenario. Can you help us out? I understand that you probably have other commitments. No, don't worry. I'm fine. Let's rock, bro. I'm down.
Yeah, let's go.
I go with him, hang out there for a while. The work we did actually ended up being very well received. And then that's the company that I was mentioning that I got fired from. But he left like a few months after I started, went to bigger and better things. I was still there, ended up getting fired from there. And then at the time, like when I started working there, right, initially I was still finishing my degree. But then I didn't register for the second semester because the workload at that place was just insane, right? It was actually ridiculous. It was terrible. So it was like, yo, I don't have enough time to do this and like reasonably commit to the final stretch of my degree because it was requiring a lot of work and research as well. So I was like, hey, let's not do that. Let that go. Or rather, just like, I'll pause this for a year or so. Let's just get this, go up at this new company, see what happens. And then obviously they think that the new company fold. Afterwards, it's like, well, I mean, that counts as an education because we were doing a lot of educational tech. And part of the education was like, the corporate world sucks. And capitalism is, not that I didn't know it was awful, but it's really awful. Like really, really awful. How can we divest myself from this as much as humanly possible? And then, yeah, like, honestly, like, you're talking about me being a sort of OG in the game, right? If I'm honest, a lot of the things that I've done in the SA scene for the last 7-8 years, right, are things that we're doing happily, and I always wanted it to be a self-sustaining career, but it was never actually possible, or at least it didn't feel that way at the time, right? So I was always felt like I had to do other things to make that work, and it was sort of like a tangential hobby side gig. And then after last year, I was like, YOLO, what actually makes me happy to get up? Because I hated these last year and a half working for these people. Cool. What can I do to actually not hate waking up in the morning? One of the only things that I'll happily wake up at 5, 6 a.m. for is for a good game. So yeah, let's figure out how to do that and get some money out of it. And yeah, and now we're out here. Now we're here somehow.
Now we're here surviving.
Yeah.
And that's actually a good point that you mentioned because I feel like, you know, also personally, right, when I look at the esports scene, it's like it's nice and dandy doing all these gigs, you know, participating in these tournaments, or you know, or running organizations, or running a tournament, organizing, you know, company or brand. But you know, at the same time, those things require money. You know, they require money for you to survive. They require money for you to get certain equipment, or you know, or get to certain places. And where are you gonna get the money from? Because it's not like you have that money already. Like when you enter, you're like into esports, and they're like, "Oh yeah, welcome, sir. We have your welcome package here, a couple of thousands, you know, some equipment. Boom, here we go." And I feel
This
like
ain't
it was
no
like,
game, man.
ironically, it ain't no game, you know. And so when you come into it, right, you already kind of have to have some money or some other plan of, you know, some other plan, you know. And I feel like you said, you were lucky because I guess you already had established yourself already, you know, to be in a position where, you know, you were recognized. So people came to you for gigs, you know. You didn't have to do much surfing. I'm sure like there was also some times where you had to like look around.
Locally, no, I didn't have to look around as much, but internationally, yeah, you've had to go shopping. Oh, snap. Actually, this is a funny story for y'all, right?
Oh, yeah? Let's hear it.
Last year, honestly, real talk, I found more success in doing all of this in this last year, right? When I took this major risk than I ever have in the last 7 years before that, right? But last year, there's a couple of tournaments I was trying to get into, right? A couple of gigs I was trying to make happen. And of course, you know the organizers, you cold call them, you just holler, yo, here's my shit, here's my reel, here's my Twitch, look at everything I've done. Let me know if you're down for this thing or whatever. So I did that for a lot of tournaments, right? This is like, especially in the month after the firing happened, because it's like, yo, you know, you're looking at dwindling cash reserves. You're like, hey, you need to make a plan soon, boss. You need to make a plan soon.
Yeah.
But what I found very interesting about this entire endeavor is, weirdly enough, you get so much more traction from people when you don't go to them with the thing of, yo, I'm trying to get on the come up here, please put me on, whatever. It's when you get there and you're like, yo, I know I'm actually this good. You know that your thing will be better with me here, right? Put me in the game, coach. Not even put me in the game, coach. You're like, yo, coach, you're losing, right? Do you wanna lose? No, then sub that guy. Put me in the game, coach. If you wanna lose, fine. Then don't do that. Then it's cool.
Yeah, don't put me in. Leave me at the bench.
Exactly. But if you're trying to win, put me in, coach. And it took a long time for me to develop the necessary arrogance to be able to do that kind of thing. But it turned out that it really made a difference. People treated me so much more seriously when I had that chest out, super arrogant approach. It's like, oh, wow, this is nice. This is cool. You know, I mean, I remember also, it's also one of these things where since I adopted that approach, I have only been approached a single time where someone asked me to work for exposure bucks. They're like, oh, you know, This is going to boost your platform, bro. Trust, get involved in this thing. It's going to make you so much bigger. Before, that used to happen all the time. But now, people know. People know. You got to come through with guap or just stay at home. Don't say anything.
We ain't got time for it. We don't need them exposure bucks. But yeah, and that's a big thing, right? So you went out there looking for some of the gigs, but you didn't take the approach of I'm begging or I'm asking. You were like, yo, I'm offering a solution. I've identified problems and I'm offering a solution. Sheesh. So what, did you learn that during your corporate experiences, or was it just like one day you were like, man, I don't care even if they say no, I don't care. How did we get to such an attitude? Because I mean,
it reminded me that I didn't fully finish the story, right? So while I was calling a bunch of people, being like, yo, get involved, do this thing. Obviously, no fish were biting, right? It is what it is. Because I had that very timid approach. And then I remember I complained about it. There's one Discord that I'm a part of, right? Obviously, everything's redacted. It is what it is. But I'm in this Discord and I was complaining about the situation. I was like, guys, I feel like I'm being treated unfairly in this scenario, right? Because the guy hollered at me maybe 3 weeks after the tournament finished, being like, oh, sorry, fam, we were actually cool with the talent we had. And I was like, this actually bothers me because to me, that's like hella disrespectful, right? Just say nothing, bro. Like, if I didn't get the job, fine. It is what it is. I didn't get the job. Don't come tell me a month after the job is done. Hey, man, by the way, we already had the people for that. Oh, come on, man. That's actually disrespectful to me. So I was describing the situation, telling some people about this, and I was expecting people to all be like, oh, man, that sucks, to fully commiserate with the homie about how it all went down and how it all broke down. Instead, I got a reality check, right? Some people were like, yo, people were talking some trash because they know the guy. Oh, what if he was just busy, this, whatever excuses, right? But there was one person I argued with, right, who sort of dropped dime, dog. Where they said to me, or they said like in the Discord, they were like, yo, this person is used to working with like established names or whatever, right? They just might not even know that your existence. They're not used to working with amateurs and whatever. And that pissed me off, right? And it pissed a couple of other people off in the chat because people are like, yo, you can say a lot of things about Snare, but you can't say he's an amateur. What the fuck, right? What is this? What are you talking about? But also, it helped me because I was like, I know I'm not an amateur, right? And I know that, but this person is right, is that I act like an amateur. I talk like an amateur. I talk like I don't talk like that guy who's like, yo, I've dropped already a fire mixtape, right? Get on my feature because this shit's going to be hot, right? I talk like that guy who's trying to hand out the mixtape outside of someone else's show, right? Oh, guys, please.
Want to hear this heat? Want to get this heat?
It'll be cool, bro. Trust me, it'll be cool, right? Instead of being like, nah. If I'm not on stage, I'm not at the show. Because why am I at the show if I'm not on the stage? Because I'm good enough to be on the stage. I should be there. If not, I'm not going to cheerlead the rest of y'all because I'm not a cheerleader. I'm not an amateur. And it took like that sort of raising of tensions to look at this and being like, actually, this person is right. They're fucking with me, but they're right. That I do seem like I'm beneath notice. So if I keep acting like I'm beneath notice, I'm always going to be beneath notice. And the only way for that to change is if I change my approach, change how I interact with these people. And also change what I want out of the situation, right? Where it's no longer a hobby now and a thing that I just want to do to have fun, enjoy myself. It's like, no, if I'm expressly not going back to the corporate world and I'm expressly trying to make this work as like a viable, sustainable thing for the future, I have to take myself as seriously as I want these people to take me. And that just ain't gonna happen if I don't go around, right, with my chest out, being like, actually, fuck y'all ain't shit, right? You have to channel. Y'all remember that control verse from Kendrick, right? Where he said that one bar where he's like, I love all of y'all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas, right? Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of any of you. I'm stealing your fans. I'm stealing your audience. I'm out here for this, right? And this ain't games. This is real life now. And it made a huge difference, honestly. Like looking back on it, I think that's probably one of the biggest things that made a difference in how I also got perceived as well in the scene, where it wasn't just the thing of, yo, here's this guy that's really good at this shit. It's like, no, he's a professional. We must approach him like a professional, deal with him like a professional. And I must also act that way as well. And then other things will fall into place a lot more easily than when it's a hobby that I do for fun, which means I'm also willing to take shit for fun. You know what I mean?
True. Yeah, I guess that's a good point that you mentioned, because like sometimes you could be good at what you do, but just like how you present yourself, it could show that, okay, this guy is just like, he's not serious about it. So yeah, that switch up of approach just like elevated you and put you in a whole new position. And you discovered that through, I guess, that little argument and, exchange of words you had with that other man. So yeah, sometimes you get those gems. We didn't expect them. We didn't expect them.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here, the world class snare caster, right? Where so yeah, so take us through like which one is till today? Which one would you say is like your biggest highlight through your casting career? Like,
ooh, it's a bit awkward, but it's actually the shit I'm doing right now.
oh, which one?
Like so the DPC, which is kind of like the road to, it's like, so each region has like a league for itself, right, with all the different teams that play there. And then to qualify for a major in Dota, or the Valve sanctioned majors, like the big ones that get you to TI, which is like the big world tournament, you have to play through these regional leagues. How you place, you earn points there, whatever, and then you proceed forward. The biggest things for me personally would be the finals that we hosted a couple of weeks back, which was it was something else, right? Because I was out here. Because beforehand, I was actually supposed to be in Ukraine doing Dota in January, but we're on the travel ban list. What can we do about that? However, just knowing that I was in that conversation felt very bizarre to me, right? But I was like, cool, it is what it is. And then the finals come up and they're like, yo, we want you come through, do this thing. I did that thing. And the most bizarre thing wasn't that I did it. It was the reception. It's one thing when you know you're dope, right? You're like, all right, I'm not gonna, on a bad day, if I'm honest, let me brag a little bit, y'all. On a bad day, I'm mediocre, right? On a bad day, I'm mediocre. When I'm fucking up, I'm mediocre. But on a good day, yo, we out here.
Out here.
But that particular day, it was like, we're doing this thing. And it's one thing also when, this also, I've noticed this happens a lot with South Africans, or just with people from smaller communities, right? When you spend a lot of time being a somewhat big fish in a bit of a little pond, you sort of forget what it means to be a big fish, right? And you take it for granted that people are going to just vibe with you. They're going to rock with you no matter what, right? But, when now you're in the ocean now, you're like, oh, snap, I'm actually not a big fish at all. I'm a tiny fish. What am I going to do? And it was bizarre just seeing how many people were vibing with this and being like, yo, get Snare to a major or a LAN or something. Yo, guys, where was this heat this entire time? We didn't know this fire existed. That was great, but then that was also a weird situation. The major got canceled like last minute. This was sort of like a haphazard, put together last minute type of thing. But this thing that we're doing now, this new China tour, which is also like in a similar vein, like still constitutes towards going to TI. As we've been doing this, we started this morning, and like just knowing that the people were like, yo, we still want you to be primary host. It didn't work out for Ukraine, but whatever, that shit sucked. And of course, there's war in Ukraine now, regrettably. But the fact that they came back and they're like, yo, dog, you don't understand. We're putting you in here, whether you like it or not. Roll with us, pull through, do this thing. And it's one thing when it's like, there's going to be some last minute finals we're going to do over the course of a weekend. Sure, we'll get over the course of that weekend 100,000 plus viewers, but it's still just one weekend. It's another thing when it's like, yo, hey man, for the next 6 weeks, you're going to be on camera showing yourself to thousands and thousands of people every day. Oh, snap. That's something. That's something.
And I guess that's when you know that you're the shit. Excuse my language, but that's when you know that you're the shit, dog. When you're put in that pedestal, and sometimes, like I said, yeah, once I guess, and I think when you're so like involved heavily in the local scene and you don't explore other opportunities beyond, you sometimes forget like how talented the skills you are. So sometimes I guess you just have to take that step out the pond and jump into the ocean. So I guess I would like to also take a step back as well. Like maybe like how do you like, because now we know like your life story, like your early life story, like where you grew up, schooling, after schooling, tertiary, corporate, fuck ups and all that. So now take us through like gaming, because I feel like that's the question that I still, that I guess for most of us we still have. Like, how did you jump into the gaming? Because like, did you just wake up? Were you born with Dota in front of you and you're like, boom, yeah, Dota? Man. Like, how did you when did the gaming journey start? Where's the origin story of the gaming scene?
The gaming journey started when I was probably like 6-7 years old. Actually, what was, in retrospect, what was the quintessential gamer story, right? So there's some like really cool picture. There's a really cool picture of me like playing, what's that game? Dangerous Dave, right? When I was like 6 or something. It was really cool, and I was having the time of my life, right? But there was this spaza shop next to where I lived when I was still staying in Pretoria. And at the shop, every now and then, mom would send me, oh, let's quickly go buy bread there or whatever, Also, the older crowd will remember that parents were a lot more cavalier with their kids back then, right? Just be like, it still happens sometimes in Ekasi. You'll see some kid knee height walking home with a crate of beer. It is what it is. So this is what would happen. And they sent me to buy bread all the time. But this spaza shop also had an arcade machine, right? And they had Pac-Man, Metal Slug 2, and Contra. And I cannot tell you how much time I spent at that place, right? Whenever I had spare money, go there, play the games. But the one day, right, which probably, in retrospect, made it clear that I was going to be a gamer for the rest of my life. In Metal Slug, which I was really good at, right, when I was a kid.
OG, man.
I was really good at it.
That's one of the OG games, bro. Metal Slug.
So I posted a high score on Metal Slug 2 with what is the guy with the yellow jacket? I forget his name, but we used to call him Mafinyela, because every time when he's leaning over the thing, that's not Babu. Hey, get Mafinyela, more thing. So
Mafi.
I posted this high score and I was very happy with myself. Some time passes, my mom sends me, yo, go buy bread or whatever. I'm like, cool. I go there to the spaza shop. I'm about to pay for the bread, but out of the corner of my eye, I see this arcade machine. And I see that it's not SNR, right? Because like literally my initials are SNR. It's like, it's not far from Snare. Very easy for me. Awesome. But I see this and I'm like, wait, that doesn't say SNR at the top. Whose name is that? Who is that? Then I asked, yo, did something happen with the machine? Did it break? They're like, nah, some guy came in and he beat the score. And I was like, keep the bread, bros. This money is going into Metal Slug. And unfortunately, my mother was not very happy when she came to find me like 3-4 hours later, worried that her son has gone missing, right? Has been kidnapped. And she's literally banging on doors asking, have you seen my kid? Have you seen my kid? And she finds this little nigga here, on the Metal
bashing
Slug. And it's like, she was not happy. She's very upset, right? This was also regrettably back when it was quite acceptable to get beaten the hell out of yourself by your mom. But that ass whooping was worth it because I got the top score back.
Oh, you got the hey, it was worth something. At the end of the day, it was worth something. Yeah, so you're telling me you took the money, the money that you was supposed to use for bread, and you
spent it all on Metal Slug.
Jesus. You a rebel. You a
all of it. All of it. And I was like, hashtag would do again. But like on a more serious note, so I've been playing games for a very, very long time in that way. But how I started doing games competitively, or just like esports in general, with Counter-Strike Source. There was this internet cafe not far away from my house where we'd sometimes just go play, hang out with this game, right? But it was just a fun thing that we're doing together, but it wasn't necessarily a thing that we care about, like being super competitive. Obviously, at the time, there's not much internet and stuff. Well, we're playing this week in, week out. There was a while where I stopped going for a while. I don't remember really why. Stopped going to the internet cafe for a while. I went after a couple of months, and then I see the homies, they aren't playing Counter-Strike Source, right? They're busy playing Warcraft 3 now. Cool, I'm down. Let's play Warcraft 3, because at the time I was also huge into StarCraft. So I was like, all right, I'm down with this. We're playing Warcraft 3. Obviously, people started introducing the mods. Someone's like, yo, they found this. Dota players don't know how old I am here. They found the Aeons of Strife mod. Come pull through, play this thing, playing this. Oh, this seems kind of fun. This is cool. I can vibe with this. But even then, I didn't really take it seriously. I didn't get into it for a while. Until about 2011, I think. I started really getting into into Dota. Because that's when that was my second year, I think. Yeah. So there was an internet cafe not far from my house, and they had a huge Dota community there, and they got me into it. And it was like, I was like, this is cool, this is nice, but I'm not taking it super seriously. It's still just a fun mod to me. And then I started drinking. And people are like, you're drinking, let's go play Dota, bro. And all my friends be like, let's just go. For some reason, the drunker we got, the more they wanted to play Dota. And I figured out eventually that part of the reason why this was that an internet cafe had a liquor license. So you could be playing Dota and they'd bring you liquor. So you're like, oh, I bet we can do this forever.
It's a both worlds.
And then over time, right, Dota just has this way of getting to you. Because I was playing other games at the time. I was already playing Mortal Kombat. I was already playing Tekken. I'd actually won like money from like some random Tekken tournament, but it didn't really count, right? It was like same thing. We're just putting money on the table. Let's play Tekken. Cool. I didn't really think about it as like a competitive esport thing, right? But then with Dota's what a marvelous game, honestly. Like we could spend the rest of the podcast talking about Dota, but I thought getting into this, it burrows its way into my mind. And then I realized that like there's something about not just being very skilled or talented at a game, right? But being able to legitimately outthink an opponent that is better than you in every other way, but their understanding of the game. They have more raw talent than you. They click faster than you. They have better reaction time than you. But if you understand the game better than they do, you can still win. And I was like, whoa, this is nice. This is buck. Got into Dota from there, and then honestly, I just started playing it, and it became a bit of an obsession. Real talk, I failed some modules because of Dota. It's no joke. But then I met other people in the Dota world, like locally. Formed that team with them. Some of them, to this day, actually, some of the people that I still talk to, like on a regular basis, almost daily basis, are these bras. One of my closest friends I met through Dota as well, and yeah, it burrowed its way into my heart. And then obviously at the time I joined the team, I was terrible at it, but then eventually somebody gave me the mic to do that Mortal Kombat thing we spoke about earlier. Someone else said, hey, you already did that for Mortal Kombat, you play Dota, why not do that for Dota? And then yeah, the rest is kind of history from there. Honestly, I think the thing I thank Dota for the most is the fact that everyone recognizes that Dota is very complicated and very complex and very difficult. So I think people, even in games I'm not good at, people have been willing to give me a pass because they're like, yo, if he can get good at Dota, he can probably get good at this thing. So if he has one shit tournament, it's fine, whatever. Put him on the mic again, he can pull back on this one. So yeah, that's kind of how it all started in that direction. And yeah, the rest has been history.
It's been love ever since. I mean, you just like stuck through it, and now look at you at the world stage. Yeah, I mean, maybe when you started off, you thought, oh, I was gonna be maybe there in the seat, competing against the others. But nah, even though you're not there exactly, but you're there. You're there on the world stage, and you're the one, helping drive the ship. So shout out to you. So, what would be like your biggest advice for like a person who probably is like was in your shoes, like who is washed at a particular game, but they want to be involved in the competitive scene, and they want to probably also take a step in the casting scene. So what would you say? Because like you have established that you've been lucky, to be granted some of the opportunities that you've been given, and some also to have access to some of the knowledge that you have received. So what would you say is like? Okay, what's the biggest advice that you'd give? What's the gem that you want to leave people with who are watching this or listening to this, who are looking into taking a similar path that you took?
I would say one of the things that helped me a lot is I didn't necessarily wait until people put me on before I was like, I'm on a broadcasting. So I was on my own channel, just on Twitch, whatever. Whatever game that interested in me, especially like the high profile games, I do it. Even if I'm not as good as the people who are like in the official broadcast, I'm like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make myself better. People are going to learn to appreciate this. And also I'm going to learn to appreciate myself. But the biggest thing is don't wait for people to come to you. Be annoying, like really annoying, like every single day, right? There was a point, I think like 2017, 2018. I experienced a very good period of like growth over like 6 months, but that's because I was extremely annoying. Tweeting multiple times a day about the stream, on stream, 6 or 7 times a week, all day, every day, just there on the mic. It was awful. I hated it. Well, I didn't hate it. That was awesome. I can't pretend I hated it. But it wasn't very rewarding at the time. It happened to pay off in the long run. And I think one of the things that helped pay off in is that there's people who also sort of came up like around me and with me at times. Some of them fell off. Some of them started later than me but got further. There's a lot of institutional challenges also in South Africa, load shedding, internet issues, yada, 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 yada. But the main thing is like piss yourself off even with how hard you're going to be grinding and have a fallback plan. It took me working and living in the fallback plan to be like, this sucks. I'd rather take the risk and see what happens. But I also I recognize that I have a bit of a stubborn personality in that way, and that is probably not useful advice for everybody to do that. So, 3 top tips: be annoying by grinding constantly, even to your own detriment. The second thing is don't wait for anybody. Go in. And when people tell you you're not good enough, fine. But you're going to keep inundating them. Even if they don't think you're good enough, they're at least going to know who you are. They're going to know your name, right? And then the third thing, regrettably, it took me a very long time to learn this. Like, we talk about this. I only really learned this last year, but actually back yourself. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. Don't look at it as a hobby. Don't look at it as a side project. Be like, I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to succeed at it. But be very obstinate in that belief. Be like, this is what I'm doing now. I'm going to make it happen. Whether the world likes it or not, I'm going to be a success. It's inevitable. And outside of that, honestly, I can't tell you any individual things because, like I say, you also have to be prepared to deal with a healthy heaping of luck. You don't know when your luck is coming, but luck is a skill that you can train as well. So the more annoying you are, the harder you grind it out, the more luck will come across your path. And then you just snap it up when it's opportune for you at the time.
Man, I did tell you, Jude. I'm not like a person who likes saying I told you so. Nah. But I told you so, dog. I told you when we get this man here, we're gonna get some gems, bro. We're gonna get some gems. I'm listening to you, and I'm also taking some of the advice. I'm busy here. Like, you can't see me because I'm holding the pen. I'm just like, writing down these points for myself, be annoying and all that. But no, shout out to you because I guess that's also something I've also noticed. Sometimes we strive so hard to be perfect or like to set up, the perfect foundation for ourselves. Like, okay, I'm not good enough. So let me just like be good first. And then, you want to do all the fundamental stuff. And yeah, that's good, right? To be prepared. But sometimes you might get lost in the sauce, try to always be prepared and build that perfect foundation. And sometimes you might not even finish that foundation. So sometimes it's just like, just go out there and just do it. As long as like, if you're ready to go, just go.
Yep.
Uzobona phambili, like we always say, uzobona phambili. You'll see.
Exactly.
You'll see when you get there. You'll see when you get there. And shout out, I guess like some and you really dropped some gems on us.
You know how many garbage mixtapes and albums Young Thug dropped before he released Slime Season 3?
Off, bro. Exactly. Like we always think about the end product when we see the people that we look up to. We don't consider the all the other garbage they have in the back. We only just focus on the pretty stuff, on their final product. But like for example, like you also have a YouTube channel, The Curved Thought, and part of the research, I was actually listening to some of the podcasts. Actually,
oh God, please don't listen to the ones from like the 2017 ones. Oh God,
I listened to the first episode. Like, hey, Jude.
Oh, the fight that I had.
We are new to this. We are new to this podcasting, though. We are infants. We just listen. This man has been at it. This man has a whole podcast. So if y'all have the chance, go to The Curved Thought on YouTube.
Only listen to the 2020 plus episodes. Don't go back in time.
I listened to the first episode, and to be honest, it wasn't actually that bad. I enjoyed the episodes. You did say some controversial stuff though in some of the episodes, but like it was like a good listen. I remember, especially the first one where you speak about God and existence and all that and the universe. And I was listening to both sides. Getting to hear what both sides were saying, and I was hooked in the conversation. So, hey man,
I hated my performance back then. Honestly, funny enough, one of the things I wanted to do, and I've actually been derelict in doing this, is I want to actually go back to that old content that I did. And I want to not debunk it, but I want to hear it. I actually want to react to myself and be like, how have I changed in the intervening however many years. Where did I go wrong? What did my interlocutor say? Because, let's be honest, that wasn't even an argument. That was a straight up fight.
It was boxing. It got to a point where I was like, man, these guys are about to throw blows at each other.
But it's like, I want to go back and see how I've evolved and how I've changed. So I do want to. I think I can do better, basically. But actually, wasn't. Now that you're mentioning it, it wasn't the worst.
I enjoyed it. And if you all want to have some of that enjoyment, head over to the Curve Thought. Also, be sure to subscribe to the man. Support the homie. I think that's how it is with all of us, right? I'm okay. I do a lot of design work, right? And I sometimes go back to my old work, and sometimes, when you're there, like back in the day, like when you're there, like coming up with those designs, you're like, man, this is the dopest thing I've ever done, and then like years after, when you come back at it, you're like, bro,
you're like,
you wish you could just go have that Men in Black, thing, so you can just erase everyone's memory who saw that artwork or whatever content that you put out. So, I feel like that's the thing, we all have to go through that, but like all those little milestones are important to, to get us to where we are now, because if we didn't do that, if we didn't produce that bad product that we claim to be a bad product, then we wouldn't be good today. We have to be bad to be good one day. You feel me? So it is what it is. Don't private them. Nah? Don't private them. Just leave them.
Nah.
The good memories.
I promised myself years ago that, like, no matter how dumb the thing, my thing is that once I've put something out there, it's out there now. I literally refuse, and I make a point of this. You did the research. If you look back at, like, especially at my earlier Twitter, I said a lot of wild and dumb shit, right? But even when I come back and say that was wild and dumb shit, I'm gonna leave it on here for the record so that y'all can see. We don't we evolve, but we don't backtrack. That's always been the motto.
100s. People have to see the process. I always say the beauty or the art is within the process. The final product is just the cherry on top. So the whole milkshake, the whole milkshake that you're enjoying, it's that's the process, and then the cherry on top is just like, it's just like the final product,
And the man talks about milkshakes to a man who's lactose intolerant. Imagine that.
Oh, hey. You don't like milkshakes?
I can't have milkshakes. I can't have milkshakes.
Oh, okay. That's actually one interesting fact. Actually, I would like to know. Okay, now we know the Snare story, but like, let's hear other 3 interesting facts about Snare. So you're lactose intolerant. Let's hear another.
I'm not sure if that's actually that interesting. Like, a significant degree of like African people become lactose intolerant. So let's think. What is interesting stuff? I'm also trying to think about like stuff that I don't talk about, because I also talk a lot online. So a lot of like things about me are out there. Let's think. Interesting facts. Oh, here's one interesting. Well, this is going to be buying time for me to think of more. But an interesting fact is that I came across, actually, I mentioned Young Thug earlier, right? Have y'all ever listened to, what is that thing called? My Name is Jeffrey, that project. So there's this project by Young Thug called My Name is Jeffrey. And on the cover, right, it's him in this dress. And this dress is mind-bogglingly fire, right? It's incredible. It's wow. It's actually breathtakingly beautiful. And I've been trying for a long time to find a dress like that, right? Because I'm like, I'm also a long, lanky dude. I'm like, it'll probably fit me as well, could probably try to figure this out. So an interesting thing is that I've been trying to find a fire dress for a while, but I've been failing in this endeavor, so game is hard. Let's think, what else? I've taken up, I'm slowly but surely, emphasis on the slowly, less emphasis on the surely, but very, very slowly, learning to make music. So I got my DJ deck, we're making beats and shit. We've written some raps and some songs. We out here, we're gonna see what we're actually gonna do.
For getting a mixtape from
like Snare. I said, slowly.
Oh, some Kendrick Lamar kind of slow.
Exactly, dog. Like it'll be after Kendrick's, not this coming album, the next one. That's when I'm gonna drop the first track, dog.
What? So after a century?
Nah. 90 years, more or less,
Ah.
And let's think, what other interesting tidbit? This actually be an interesting one. So my hair, right, which is, y'all, I used to have short hair. Anybody can go back and you'll see me on all Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever, where I had short hair. I can't claim that I was ever really an unappealing guy, right? But I looked normal for the most part for a long time. I was just a guy, right? The dreads added drip to levels I wasn't expecting, but it did the thing, right? But the thing that's great about how I got the dreads is I didn't go in deciding, you know what, today, dreadlocks time, let's increase and elevate this year drip. What happened was that my hair was growing, and perfect, you're in the situation right now. My hair was actually around the same size as yours is, nah? And I was trying to think, okay, I need to do something with this year. What do? I consult everybody. Everyone's like, do this. I don't know. Do this. I don't know. Do this. No one really had nice things. You know what? Someone has to tell you the thing that you just feel it and you're like, yes. That's like, I don't know what I wanted to hear, but as you said it, that's exactly what I needed to hear. And no one was saying that to me. So I left it for a while, being like, I'll figure this out later. At the time, I think I was in the midst of exams, I think, as well. So I was like, why am I stressed about my hairstyle? Dude, finish your exams. You'll worry about your drip later. And then I left it. And then I started doing, the little knots. But I was like, I'm writing exams. So I left it. Then exams finished. Then it's like, yo, I'm working. So I left it. Then, yo, I'm on vacay. So I left it. And I left it. And eventually I got dreadlocks. And it's like, last week, the week before last, I twisted my hair, right? For the first time, actually the first time that I've actually twisted the hair with these dreads. And I've had these for since 2017, but there was no work put into them at all. The only work was I'm too lazy to comb my hair. So I guess we have this now.
So you're saying I might end up in your situation. Yeah. No, rock some of that. Have some of that Snare drip.
Yeah.
But okay. Hey, that was lit. Okay, cool. So I guess just to wrap it all up, right? I wanna just as a final exercise, right? I wanna start this thing where every guest that comes on the show, we just do a little quiz show, just a quick quiz show, to wrap it all up, and then we're gonna have a leaderboard of all the guests, right? So. Name a game. So you love Dota, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the quizzes right now, and I don't see Dota. They got League of Legends, and they don't have Dota. I'm like, okay, cool. So, let me see. Mortal Kombat. How's Mortal Kombat? Did you say that you're well versed in the lore or in the game?
Which Mortal Kombat? Up to, because I haven't played 11 as much as I should have, if I'm honest. But that's because I don't like 11. I don't think it's actually as good a game as before. I've put a lot more time into Tekken as a result. Wait, what categories do we have? So you have League of Legends, you have Mortal Kombat?
We have a bunch of games here. We have Metal Gear Solid, we have Metal Gear Solid 1, we got Minecraft, we got Halo 2. We got...
All right, so...
Yeah, which
just throw random ones at me. Yeah, throw random ones at me. Let's see what's
a random game. Okay,
let's go. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say, Oh, Mortal Kombat 2.
Oof, that's a classic. Okay, cool. We can do that.
But you can do Mortal Kombat 2. Okay, cool. So let's ask the questions, and then, so yeah, we'll just quiz you about Mortal Kombat 2. Right. It was on the Sega Genesis. Right.
I remember playing that game mostly on arcade as well. So I played a lot of it on arcade. So I still fully remember the game. Yeah.
Okay, Lana, let's go with it. Okay, so how many playable characters are available in Mortal Kombat 2? 9. Okay, first answer: 9, 10, 12, or 15.
Let me think. 2, you said, right?
Huh? Yeah, Mortal Kombat 2.
So 2 has Baraka, Melina, Jax, Johnny, Kitana. Does 2 have Liu Kang? It does have Liu Kang. And that's also the one where they brought in Kung Lao. And Shao Kahn's not playable, at least in the original. Kintaro's not playable in the original. Nor is... Who was that other guy? The Centaur dude. Motaro, he's not playable either. So who else is there? Melina's there. Did I mention Kitana? I did.
Mm-hmm.
What are my options again? There was 9,
9,
15,
10, 12,
uh-huh.
and 15.
I'll say 12. 12 feels right. Yeah, I'll say 12. I'll say
lock
12.
it in 12. Okay, cool.
Locking in 12.
Which of the following characters does not make any appearance in Mortal Kombat 2? 1, Sindel. 2, Sonya. 3, Smoke. And 4, Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung is playable in that game, so it won't be him. You said it's Mortal Kombat 2, right?
Yes.
So it's Smoke, Sindel. Who's the other one?
Sonya and Shang Tsung. Who doesn't make any appearance in the game?
Sonya, if I remember correctly, is in the background of one of the stages. It has to be Sindel because Sindel was only introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. It has to be Sindel. Yeah, it has to be Sindel.
Sindel. Okay, cool. Okay, who is the final boss in Mortal Kombat 2?
Oh, Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn. Don't even tell me the options. Shao Kahn.
You just know. Okay, cool.
You know how many L's I caught against Shao Kahn? How many coins I lost against Shao Kahn? I know that answer off the back of my head.
Some trauma with that memory. Okay, which of the following characters does not have three fatalities, including variations? Right. So Scorpion, Johnny Cage, Reptile, or Shang Tsung. Who does not have 3 fatalities? And that includes variations.
Including variations. This might be a trick question, right? Because I feel like the answer is Shang Tsung, but Shang Tsung, it's because his the fatality route is copying other fatalities. I know he has definitely 2. YOLO, I'm gonna say Shang Tsung. Yeah, I'm gonna trust the intuition here. I'm probably wrong, but let's go Shang Tsung. Yeah.
Okay, we can go with that. Okay, which of the following stages does not host a stage fatality? Right, number 1, the Pit 2, the Armory, the Deadpool, or the Combat 2.
I think it's the Combat because I know Pit 2 has the uppercut down below. Deadpool has the uppercut into the hooks and uppercut into the acid. So Armory has uppercut into the wall hooks, if I remember correctly. Or did that come later? I know there's definitely one of the Mortal Kombat that has an armor fatality. So let's go D. Yeah, that's the only one that I'm fairly certain doesn't.
The Combat 2.
Yeah, the Combat 2. Fairly certain. Yeah, I'm like,
okay, cool.
Yeah, I'm like 60 on this one. Yeah.
Okay, well, halfway. Okay, which of the following characters does not perform a special move based on teleportation? 1, Melina.
Raiden.
2,
Raiden.
But she's not on the options.
What? Raiden's not on that list?
No. The Scorpion.
Okay, who are the options? It's,
Baraka, Kang Lao, or Melina.
This is actually an interesting question, right? Because Kang Lao did get teleportation, or does have it now, but I'm not sure if they introduced it then. Because at the time, Scorpion did have the Hellfire kick, which was like teleport half the screen. Shit, that's actually a difficult one. I'm gonna say Kung Lao though. I'm gonna say Kung Lao. Yeah, because I feel. No, wait. Mortal Kombat 2, you said, nah?
Yeah, Mortal
Kombat 2, you said. Scorpion MK2, because I think that Kung Lao only got the down up teleport in 9 or X later. Yeah, I think. So let's go Scorpion. Yeah.
Cool. Now question 7: which character does the question mark emblem on the combat ladder on the combat ladder represent? Right, Noob, Sabot, Nobody, Jade, or Smoke? Which character
Mortal
does
Kombat
the question mark
2,
emblem?
he said. Mortal Kombat 2. I think it's Smoke. Yeah, it's Smoke. It's Smoke. In Mortal Kombat 2, combat ladder should be Smoke because Noob Saibot. Yeah, it's I'm gonna go with Smoke. Yeah, let's take Smoke. Let's go Smoke.
Okay, Question 8. We're almost there. A type of finishing move called Animality was introduced in Mortal Kombat 3. Right? This was inspired by one of the fatalities performed by which character in Mortal Kombat 2? 1. Baraka, 2. Raiden, Lao Kang, or Jax? So who inspired the finishing move Animality?
I think it was Liu Kang, because Liu Kang's thing here, the fatality, I think it was fatality 2, the one where he transforms into a dragon to eat you. I think they debuted it here. So no, but you said Animality, right? So they
Which one inspired it? Inspired Animality.
The options were Liu Kang, Jax,
Baraka, or Raiden.
Oof. I must still stick with Liu Kang because it's the only one that I remember that involves the animal finisher. I know Jax has the bone breaker one. Baraka has one where he eats you and spits you out, which is really, really hilarious. Yeah, let's go Jax. No, let's go Liu Kang. Sorry, Liu Kang. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Question 9: which character can sever certain limbs of the sever certain limbs of the opponent? 1. Kitana, 2. Johnny Cage, 3. Scorpion, 4. Jax.
Woo! Kitana, thank God. That's the one. That one I actually know. Yeah.
And then which button? Last question: which button is not used in this game? Block, run, high kick, low punch.
Which button is
not used in this game?
Block.
Block, run, high kick, low punch.
Okay, the kicks and punches are there. I don't remember if back then actually MK didn't have a dedicated block button, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna say the block button because you actually did have to. The word button press you had to do for run, yeah. So it has to be the block, yeah. It has to be the block.
Okay, cool. So that's the final question, and that gives us a score of 4 out of 10. He scored 1.
I told you all I'm washed.
And that puts you in the top spot in the Ekasi Esports Podcast list. Number 1, Mr. Snare Damas.
I hope you never have any other guests, so I stay on top.
If they do beat you, then you're gonna come back, stop buying bread, and then you're gonna come
venomous.
back. Yeah. Then try and defeat the top score. But hey, man, thank you so much for being here with us. Oh, it's been I told you, he's a talkative one. And we can go on. We can go on the whole night, but unfortunately, we don't have the whole day. We don't have the whole night. And Jude, I can see he's busy knocking on my windows, like, bro, I got to dash sugar. But shout out for being here. Shout out for being the first guest on the Ekasi Esports Podcast. You have made a mark in history here as well. So shout out.
Thanks for having me, boys. Thanks for having me. It was a gas, and I'm really happy to be the first. But hopefully it won't be the last time either.
Yeah, no, definitely. No. We'll still have more conversations, and we would like to have other people coming in with different perspectives, especially when you want to speak on certain topics. So definitely, and you're one of the people I know, like in my personal life, who I can come through with a topic and just want to hear your thoughts on it, because you are interested in a bunch of stuff, and whenever we start having conversations and stuff, like we just go ham. So shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Any words from you?
Shout out to y'all.
Said me good.
Oh, I think it's doing it again. I think it's doing the thing again with the mic. I think it's doing the thing again with the mic. But you know what? This is a gem. We're just gonna keep it up the way it is. Unfortunately, Judo couldn't be here. He's here with us,
in body and spirit, if not in voice.
But not in voice, unfortunately. Regionless. But no. But shout outs, man. And if you guys want to reach out, check out Snare, check him out on his Twitter, check him out on YouTube. We've been plugging the YouTube, right? Check him out on Twitch, right? Check him out on where are you? Actually, yeah, you tell us. Where are you?
So Twitter, you can go to Snare Damas. You can go onto YouTube, like you said, Curve Thoughts. Although don't go yet. Give me a month to make new content. You can go over onto Instagram where, hold on, I actually have to check because I've been rebranding my Instagram quite a lot lately. So let's just see. All right, Snare Casting. So my Twitch and my Instagram are now the same thing. So Snare Casting. And I have a Facebook as well. You can find me on Curve Thought there on Facebook. Or just with, I think just find me on Instagram. You can easily link to my Facebook as well. And let's think, is there anywhere else you should go? Actually, I would be remiss, right? I would be remiss. Listen, we always talk about putting people, showing gratitude, right? And gratefulness. Right now, I would be remiss to not tell y'all to go check out DNMK. The DNMK crew have put me on in incredible ways. Like, it's actually, we'll have to have another podcast about how the DNMK crew has put me on. So shout out to DNMK. Definitely. Even if you don't want to follow me, go follow DNMK and just be like, thank you for putting this man's on. And of course, you can also find me. No, actually, no, don't find me there. Don't find me there. Scratch the last one, follow DNMK, and then that's it. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, we'll also post out the links to all the socials and wherever you can reach him. Also, to the DNMK crew, we'll also post the links in the description. So if you want to find out more about Snare, check him out there. Bars, man, we're flowing. But yeah, we definitely need to have a part 2 because there's more questions I wanted to ask. Like, how did the dynamic thing happen? Like, are they your first org? Like, there's a lot, but like, we have so little time. But we should definitely have a part 2 of this. We should definitely have a part 2.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, keep if you guys enjoyed this, then keep an eye out for a part 2 of sitting down with Snare and conversing with him. On everything and anything. But yeah. So I think we're just gonna wrap it up here. So it's been it's been perfect. It's been Snare and it's been Jude. Yeah.
But Jude, little do y'all know that Jude's name is not spelled with a J but with a G, because today he was moving silent like the G.
Moving. Hey, man! Man's coming with the bars. It looks like a competition, man. It looks like a competition, man. He's dropping balls, dropping gems, and everything. But nah, shout outs to you, man. It's been great having you. And until next time. And if you guys have been watching till the end of this episode, shout outs to you. He's our first guest, our first interview, and hopefully there's gonna be more. There will be more. Definitely, there will be more. Like this. So be sure to subscribe, turn on the post notifications, leave a like if you liked the episode. And yeah, this has been the Ekasi Esports Podcast, and we will see you guys in the next episode. So cheers.